and something needs to be done.
Tonight, erosion concerns on Park Point reach an all-time high as residents call on city leaders to do something about it.
And a Facebook post with more than 200,000 shares has people thinking twice about how they sleep at night. We look into it in this week's Eye on Parenting.
And a popular Iron Range business goes up in flames as crews spend the afternoon battling the fire.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. A renewed call for help in the new year. Many Park Point residents are concerned their homes could completely wash away if powerful storms and massive waves keep decimating their backyard dunes.
CBS3's Alex Libby joins us live from Park Point now. Alex, you spoke with a woman who just sent a letter to city councilors after the most recent storm just a few weeks ago. What did she have to say?
Tony and Kristen, I'm standing here in Park Point next to the S-curve, and that's where Jan Karen lives, the lady I talked to. As you look behind me, you can really see a lot of damage done by these past storms. These dunes are nearly 10 feet tall, and you can see some of the roots from the grasses that are supposed to hold them together. Hasn't really done that good of a job, especially with these high lake levels, large storms with winds over 60 miles per hour creating huge waves. To my left, you can see there's a fence back there. That's one of the residents' fences, and that's really getting close to the beach. And as these dunes start to disappear, residents are really concerned about their places of residency, their houses. And so Karen is asking for at least a temporary fix.
Jan Karen has lived on Park Point for a long time.
20 years.
20 years.
We've lived here 20 years.
In those 2 decades, she says she's seen a huge change in her backyard's landscape.
We used to go over this dune and slope down to the beach 20 feet out, and then there'd be a bunch of shore.
With high lake levels and powerful storms, she's seen more damage more often. That's why, in a recent letter, she called on the city to work with the Army Corps of Engineers to come up with a temporary fix.
If you look at the destruction between here and the bridge, you will see that a stopgap measure really needs to be taken. And not in 2021. That's too late. That's too late. We've had, what, 2 or 3 storms just in December.
She hopes her recent letter will call attention to what she says is an island-wide issue.
Nothing's going to be done if people aren't aware of it, and something needs to be done.
Karen says this is a really urgent matter just because in this last storm this past weekend, she's lost feet of her protective dunes.
All right, thanks, Alex. Well, we heard from city officials today on possible next steps to deal with that erosion. They say it's a multi-jurisdictional issue. They plan to hold meetings between several agencies to learn more about what can be done. One of those players is the Army Corps of Engineers. They weren't able to comment on next steps, but last year they used the material they dredged along Minnesota Point. They say that could be helpful in situations like this.
The material that is placed out there will naturally get moved around with the wind and the waves and could help create more of a buffer between areas that have had erosion.
The Army Corps is currently looking at sites they can safely use dredged material in 2020.
All right, let's take a look at the weather with Dave. Dave, not a bad day out there today.
No, there were a few peaks of the sun earlier today.
Yeah.
Didn't last long, but it always brightens spirits. The clouds are on the thicker side once again because of a low-pressure system that's been affecting us. Brought a dusting of snow last night and through this morning, and its tail end as it passes by tonight and through tomorrow could continue to do so. So on the cool side tonight, cloudy as well. And then some flurries come around for our Friday. How cool? Well, a lot of towns are probably going to drop into the single digits. So here's our day planner for Friday. In the morning, around 11 here in the Twin Ports, probably single digits for northern Minnesota, a little bit warmer for Wisconsin and Michigan. 20 to 30% chance for flurries through about the noon hour in Minnesota, maybe a little longer for Wisconsin and the UP. Top temp around 22, which is a hair warmer than normal. All right, if we get partial sunshine trying to peek through between the snow flurries on Friday, maybe we'll get a nice sunny day on Saturday, but that too shall not last, and we'll talk about the 7-day forecast in more detail in a few more minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Police are searching for a man who led them on a high-speed chase yesterday in Hibbing. Hibbing police say an officer spotted Zephaniah Sakara driving near the 1000 block of 25th Street East. The 36-year-old was wanted on domestic violence charges. When the officer tried to pull him over, Sakara took off. Police say the chase went for several blocks, taking them out of town and eventually reaching 100 miles per hour. They lost him when he turned south on Highway 5. If you know where he is, you're asked to call Hibbing Police or 911.
Fewer people died on Minnesota roads last year. In 2019, 364 people died in crashes. That's 17 less than in 2018. So far, in the first few days of the new year, one person has died in a crash in southeast Minnesota.
New Year's DWI arrests went up slightly this year in Minnesota compared to last year. Statewide, between New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, authorities made 187 arrests for DWI. That's a slight increase from last year. For the entire year, there was a 4% increase in the number of drivers pulled over for DWI.
2 more people face charges in connection to an inside job armed robbery at an Iron Range assisted living facility. It happened back in June at Edgewood Vista Assisted Living in Virginia. Charges have already been filed against Nicholas Champa and his fiancee Morgan Brady London, who worked at the facility at the time. Haley Ross and Michael Kaslucher now also face charges. Court documents show Champa and Kaslucher went into the facility, threatened and restrained staff, then stole prescription medications. Ross was reportedly the getaway driver. She was in court today. A warrant has been issued for Kaslucher. A fire did some heavy damage to a Hibbing business this afternoon. According to the Northland Firewire, crews responded to a fire at Jack and Don's Auto Garage. A vehicle started on fire, but the blaze was contained to the garage. No word on exactly how much damage was done. No one was injured.
U.S. health officials will be banning most flavored e-cigarettes, but the plan from the Trump administration includes major exceptions which benefit companies that make and sell e-cigarettes and adults who use them. Today, the FDA said the policy will not affect menthol or tobacco-flavored or tank-based vaping products sold in vape shops. Those changes are a major step back from President Trump's original plan, which would have banned nearly all flavors in all vaping products. As part of a massive budget bill signed by the president in December, the minimum age to purchase and use tobacco went up to 21. That's set to go into effect later this year.
While some cities, including Duluth and Hermantown, raised the legal age to purchase tobacco on their own, that's not the case everywhere.
Superior is just one city in our region where 18-year-olds can still buy tobacco. CBS3's Emma Quinn spoke with city leaders in Superior to get their take on the national move hitting home on the local level.
Kristen Tony, Superior Mayor Jim Payne says the age to buy tobacco is a state law in Wisconsin. He says that prevents cities or towns from changing the law on their own, but he says state leaders have been having conversations about raising the age. Mayor Payne says he's in full support of the Trump administration's move to raise the age. He says the change is a major milestone for public health, pointing to what seems to be a nationwide trend to raise the age to purchase tobacco products. On a local level, Payne says this will help teens in the Superior community stay healthy by preventing them from making choices that could have long-lasting impacts.
Many 18-year-olds are still in high school. They are teenagers, and it's not an age where somebody should be making a decision that will impact their health for their entire life.
While Payne supports the move, he anticipates some people may have trouble adjusting to the law, especially those who will no longer be of age. And coming up tonight at 10, we hear from a Superior vapor and tobacco shop on what the impact they will expect this law will have on their business.
All right, thanks, Emma. Conservatives are asking a judge to find the Wisconsin Elections Commission in contempt for not immediately purging more than 200,000 voters from the rolls. Last month, a judge ordered the purge of voters who may have moved or did not respond within 30 days to notifications sent by the Elections Commission back in October. However, the commission is appealing the ruling and asking that the order be put on hold. In turn, the conservative Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty says the commission must purge the voters now or face $12,000 per day in fines.
A viral post on Facebook has people thinking twice about the way they sleep.
And experts say it could increase your chance of surviving a house fire. CBS3's Leanne Valdez looked into the post and got to the bottom of it in this week's Eye on Parenting.
A post on Facebook pleading people to leave their doors shut at night when they go to bed has been shared over 100,000 times. The post shows two sides of one door. One side is completely scarred with black smoke. Meanwhile, the other side seems barely touched. One might stop and think, should we be closing our doors at night? Fire Marshal Sandy McComb says yes.
We teach children and when we go into schools that they should sleep with their door closed.
Experts say when you have a fire, it is the hot and toxic gases that are the ones that are going to hurt you way before the fire even reaches you. McComb says the door acts as a helping tool.
So if you have the door closed, it's going to stop there. And through fire investigation, even the thinnest doors has stopped that heat and gases.
McComb says technology can help parents rest easier.
In this day and age, we got great technology. Baby monitors, cameras, everything that we can, use to see behind that closed door.
Investing in and updating smoke detectors could also save your life.
Smoke detectors, that's your first line of defense, to have working smoke detectors that are less than 10 years old, fresh batteries tested monthly.
If your child won't fall asleep with their doors closed, experts say talk to them about why it's important to close your door at night or simply close the door after they fall asleep.
If you're in need of a fire detector or help with installment, you can call the American Red Cross in Duluth to set up a time for volunteers to come help free of charge. That number is on the bottom of your screen.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3. The lights may be off for the year, but you can still get involved over at Bentleyville. Details coming up.
On this date in the 1880s, it sure was a wild time. Both the low and the record high set during that decade. This decade, not quite so impressive on either count, high or low. A couple of flurries possible, then a nice day Saturday, followed by the return of snow chances. A lot or a little, we'll let you know coming up after the break.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Fond du Luth Casino.
Welcome to Medical Insight, a weekly healthcare feature brought to you by the experts at Essentia Health. Here's your host, Louis St. George.
Each year, about 1.5 million Americans are impacted by sepsis, which is responsible for 1 out of every 3 hospital deaths. A new program at Essentia Health is aimed at detecting sepsis earlier and responding to it faster.
Sepsis is when you have an overwhelming response to an infection. So if you imagine that if you got an infection on your thumb would get red and swollen, and that's a normal response that your immune system has to help fight the infection. When you get sepsis, what is happening is that entire response is happening throughout your whole body. And the immune system it's overreacting to the infection in a way that is now damaging your organs. Probably the most important thing that we can do is identify sepsis early. And what we need to do is, as soon as we identify it, starting the patient on broad spectrum antibiotics and getting them appropriate IV fluids to help improve their circulation.
Early detection can save lives, and confusion is a red flag. For somebody already dealing with an infection who then becomes confused, it's imperative they get to a hospital.
We've done a really good job nationally of increasing the public's awareness of things like stroke and heart attacks and how important early treatment is. We haven't done as good of a job about educating people about sepsis. And your chance of surviving an episode of sepsis or septic shock is directly related to how quickly we can treat you and diagnose you.
This effort is helping us achieve our aspirational aim of zero preventable harm. For Medical Insight, I'm Louis St. George.
This Medical Insight was brought to you by Essentia Health. To learn more about the services we offer, visit essentiahealth.org.
Some things just can't last forever, like slushy here. And our best offer of the year during the final days of the Built for the Holidays sales event. But hurry, these amazing offers on select Ford models end soon. And so does your chance to earn complimentary maintenance through Ford Pass Rewards. During the final days of the Ford Built for the Holidays sales event, get over $6,800 in total savings on the all-new 2020 Explorer. But hurry, it all ends January 2nd.
fugitive is racking up a body count, killing anybody that gets in his way. We will find justice.
We find out what's behind it. We find out his next move.
We have to consider him capable of anything. Drop the gun now! Drop it!
FBI Most Wanted premieres Tuesday 10/9 Central on CBS.
Now, the CBS3 Duluth WeatherMax forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
National Weather Service Duluth has issued its wrap-up for the climate of Duluth and International Falls for the year 2019. Temperature-wise, when you average out the ups and the downs, Duluth was 0.2 degree warmer than normal. International Falls was actually 1.4 degree cooler than normal. As far as precip goes, there was a lot extra precip. 3.38 inches more rain than normal and 43.5 more inches of snow than you usually get in a year. Well, how will 2020 shape up? Frankly, I don't know right now, but for the week ahead, it will be pretty close to normal for temperatures, and snow chances, well, only a couple for light stuff, which we'll start the process of investigating here with the current conditions at the airport in Duluth, where those numbers are compiled. 25 degrees is the current temp, and the sky above is mostly cloudy as a lower pressure system continues to work through the region. Last night and this morning, it did bring a dusting of snow to many towns, and may do so again tonight and through tomorrow, but really just a dusting. Westerly wind, it's going 10 miles per hour. Relative humidity is at 78%, and our air pressure, second day in a row on the low side here at 29.59. Temperature-wise, we're eyeing up 32 Watersmeet, 30 from Ironwood to Ashland through Odana, 27 from Hayward up to the Minong, Solon Springs area. Gets a hair warmer once you get through Gordon to Superior, 29 there, 28 Moose Lake, 23 in Two Harbors and Ely. Just a touch warmer from Hibbing to Grand Rapids and Deer River, and 21 right now, International Falls. For the most part, a hair warmer than normal. And tonight, well, inland Minnesota could cool back towards normal, which may mean some single digits, but a little bit warmer than that for most other towns in most other regions. Now, taking a look at the Doppler map for the here and now, well, that tail end of that low pressure system is right now bringing a couple of snow showers in Ontario, but you can see that the bulk of any precip we received today, that passed by several hours ago. Could redevelop as the night goes on, about a 20 to 30% chance for that, and could stick around through a while tomorrow. So once we get into tomorrow, we'll still have the tail end of the lower pressure system bringing that flurry chance, but at the same time, higher pressure is going to try to nudge in, and if it doesn't succeed in clearing us up on Friday, it should do so on Saturday. Come Saturday, the higher pressure system will make it sunny. One day only sunshine. Then as early as Sunday, a couple low pressure systems from the west bring back the snow chances, but it's probably light snow, maybe an inch or two on Sunday with a cloudier sky. Forecast tonight in Minnesota. Temperature-wise, we are eyeing up the lows to go as cool as 5 for International Falls and as warm as 14 down towards Moose Lake. Wisconsin, Michigan, range of low temps there, 13 to 18. High temps tomorrow in Wisconsin, Michigan with those flurries. Mid-20s. Minnesota high temps could run from 18 to 24 with a 30% chance for flurries. And then that slight flurry chance on Friday should give way to the sunshine on Saturday. Then it clouds up and snows up again Sunday. Again, 40% chance for another inch or two of snow. Flurries could linger for Monday and Tuesday. And once we get towards Wednesday, Thursday next week, Anthony and Kristen, it does start to cool down again, at least for Wednesday. 12 above the high, 5 below for the low.
All right, I'm happy to see that sunshine this weekend. You know, I love that. It's good. It feels good to see a little sun.
It does. A little vitamin D.
Yes, we all need it.
Thanks, Dave. Love the outdoors? Well, you might consider applying to be on the Minnesota Outdoor Recreation Task Force. The DNR will pick 20 people to be on that task force. They'll develop a set of recommendations for the DNR and explore Minnesota on how to more effectively coordinate and advance outdoor recreation work statewide. The DNR says recommendations will be based on task force discussions and broader public engagement. The deadline to apply is Friday, January 10th. We have links on how to apply on our website, cbs3duluth.com.
Bentleyville needs your help. They're asking for volunteers to help clean up the holiday light display. You can drop by Bayfront Park from 8:30 to 4 o'clock this Saturday and Sunday. There's a link to sign up on our website.
A Hermantown pair is starting off the new year with a big chunk of cash in their bank account. The Minnesota Lottery announced Tuesday Paul and Jeb Pazinski are splitting the $1.6 million prize they won on December 16th. They purchased the Go for 5 ticket from the Hermantown General Store. The store is also getting a $5,000 bonus for selling that ticket.
Talk about a Christmas present.
No kidding.
Winners all around for me, I would say. And it's going to continue in sports with a gold medal opportunity for Maura Kroll in the U.S. Under-18 team, plus a preview of the Minneapolis Miracle rematch. All this and more right after the break.
Duluth Lawn and Sport, your Skidoo Snowmobile headquarters.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Toyota. Presidential award-winning service. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler. KohlerToyota.com.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's happiest moments when everyone has a spot. Even Spot. A new year is a new chance for savings at Schneiderman's huge year-end clearance. Shop now at Schneiderman's Furniture.
We decided to have Meet the Cooks Day at GB Schneider's. Hi, how's everything at table 22 tonight? Customers love the cooks at GB Schneider's.
Here's this week's CBS3 Game Day lineup. Brought to you by Kohler Hyundai. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
I'm Carrie Harris, owner of Diabetic and Comfort Shoes. We have been in business in the Northland, helping you with your everyday foot problems stemming from diabetes to plantar fasciitis for the past 17 years. Stop in and see the complete line of men's and women's shoes, from SAS to Allegria to Vionic, for those millions of people battling plantar fasciitis. And we still have a great selection of comfortable shoes for diabetics, Medicare and Minnesota Healthcare approved. Remember, no foot problem is too big or too small. We'll find the way to your soul.
Are you a veteran and a homeowner? Then think Streamline and maybe save yourself hundreds of dollars every month on your mortgage. A VA Streamline refinance is just for veterans and lowers your mortgage rate so you can save on mortgage payments every month, every year. And it's easy to qualify. You don't need pay stubs, a W-2, bank statements, or a home appraisal. And mortgage rates now are very low. Veteran and homeowner? Call 888-327-6866.
It only happens once a year, the Johnson Mertz End of the Year Clearance Event. All in-stock appliances are drastically reduced, making this the best time to get great deals on laundry and kitchen appliances. Plus, get 0% financing for 12 months and super fast delivery. Hurry in and get great pricing on appliances from locally owned Johnson Mertz during our End of the Year Clearance Event. Johnson Mertz, it's a trusted name.
Get your news on the go, the CBS3 mobile app.
Schneiderman's helps you celebrate life's peaceful moments. 8 hours at a time. Save up to $800 on Beauty Rest Black or Black Hybrid mattresses during the New Year sale at Schneiderman Sleep.
For the 5th time in franchise history, the Minnesota Vikings will meet up with the New Orleans Saints in the playoffs. The series has fell in the Vikings' favor as they have a 3-1 record against the Saints. But this time around, it won't be an easy task. The Saints are ranked 9th in total offense, 7th in passing yards per game, and 3rd in points per game. That's in large part to future Hall of Famer quarterback Drew Brees. Head coach Mike Zimmer explained earlier this week the difficulty of going up against Brees.
It's hard to trick him because he reads things so quickly. You know, he sees it and gets the ball to the quick place. And you know, they've got a bunch of varied things. You know, they got the play actions, they got the quick throws, they've got the screens and the bubbles, and then they got their shots down the field on the play actions, and then they got a big quick game. You know, we'll have to try to do our best.
It was a big afternoon for USA Hockey over in Slovakia today. Maura Kroll in the United States U18 women's team was playing for a gold medal at the World Championships against rival Canada in what turned out to be a great game. First period, the Americans strike first. Abby Murphy gets the loose puck out front, and why not fling it right back in? She scores. It's 1-0 USA. Same score in the third, and Canada finally finds an answer, and Frederick Nod finds Sarah Paul in front, tied up at 1 late. So it heads to overtime. Winner takes the goal. An exciting frame of 3-on-3 is capped by a breakaway. Maggie Nicholson feeds Kiara Zanin, and that's the golden goal, literally. The United States wins it 2-1 in overtime. At the Men's World Junior Championship, Finland knocked out Scott Sandelin and Team USA by a score of 1-0. It ends a streak of 4 consecutive years with a medal for the United States, their longest ever streak. Finally, in the NBA, the first round of All-Star voting was announced today, and the top vote getter for the Eastern Conference is none other than the reigning MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo is currently averaging 30 points per game for the Bucks. In the Western Conference, Timberwolves center Karl Anthony Towns cracked the top 5. For the front court in the West, Towns has made the All-Star team the past 2 seasons. So that's the good news for him. The bad news is he still is out for the Timberwolves. So they're in action tonight against the Warriors. Hopefully win.
Also,
hopefully win.
Bad news, the Timberwolves are not a very good basketball team.
Oh.
Even.
Way to start the new year, Tony.
I'm just saying, you know, what did they lose, like 11 straight at one
11
point?
straight,
Yeah.
2 of their last 4.
Yeah. Things are looking up.
There we go.
There we go. Way to change your...
Thanks,
All right.
Neil.
Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, the U.S. military is beefing up its presence in the Middle East amidst rising tensions between the U.S. and Iran. The move comes after the U.S. Embassy compound in Iraq was stormed by Iranian-backed protesters. The Pentagon has deployed 750 soldiers from the 82nd Airborne to the Middle East. An additional 3,000 are on alert and preparing to deploy. We'll be sure to bring you the latest tonight at 10.
And before we go, here's a look at 20 daredevils who surprised locals in Russia by running through the city center wearing only swimsuits and Christmas hats in celebration of the new year as well as Christmas. After a thorough warm-up routine, the participants started the marathon in shorts, skirts, and festive headgear and culminated their activity with a swim in icy cold waters. These brave people who love winter swimming are affectionately known locally as walruses. Burr. I feel like that should be walrus or something, like hippopotami.
That's not a nickname I think I would want to be called.
Yeah, I don't think so. So.
All right, well, I don't think I want to be jumping into any icy waters anytime soon, Dave, but how's the temperature going to be tonight?
A little bit on the brisker side, especially towards the Iron Ranges. Tolerable for the rest of folks. And a couple of flurries are possible tonight and through tomorrow. Just a 20 to 30% chance for flurries. So if you also see sunshine on Friday, don't hold it against me. All right, let's take a look at the forecast for the next 7 days. And once we get to Friday, well, let's see. Here it goes. Finally, you get these things moving. Sometimes you have to hammer on them a little bit here. Friday gets that 30% flurry chance. After a brisk morning start, high of 22 in the afternoon, which is near normal. Sunshine and 22 on Saturday. Then comes Sunday, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible, 40% shot for that as a new low pressure system comes to town. Then its tail end may keep the flurries going through Monday and Tuesday. And then temperatures will start to become cooler than normal, at least for Tuesday and Wednesday. Looks like going below 0 by Wednesday morning. For at least a day.
I don't think anyone will ever fault you for more sunshine. I think we're good with that.
One never knows.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for joining us tonight.
We'll see you back here at 10.